The latest Jujutsu Kaisen chapter was absolutely amazing, and we have a lot to talk about. Now, before anyone says I'm glazing, let's all remember I have consistently criticized Jujutsu Kaisen in the past. In my opinion, this chapter really expanded on both Yuta and Gojo's character. Everybody seems to be upset that the students were so casually talking about Yuta taking over Gojo's body like it was nothing, and Maki stating the reason they didn't want him to do it is because Yuta was important to them. But the thing is, Yuta then calls all of them out on this. He yells at them and says, "Isn't Gojo Sensei important too?" Into which Akutami purposely draws panels showing everybody shocked by this statement because they all realized what they were doing and they were treating Gojo like an object. Haven't we all kept pushing on Gojo Sensei to be the monster all on his own? Which is so very important because of Gojo's lines in the afterlife. Because even Gojo said, you can make a flower bloom, you can admire it, but you can't tell it, I want you to understand me. This is the entire point of Gojo's character, is he became so strong that everyone admired him. They looked up to him, but they could never understand him. They admired him from a distance. They truly saw him as the strongest sorcerer, but that's how they saw him, as the strongest sorcerer. They didn't see him as Gojo. Even though they loved, admired, and respected him, they didn't understand him as Gojo, and that is a big difference. And the one who was trying to understand him was Yuta, the one who actually had to put down his best friend in JJK0. And after Yuta called everyone else out on it, they all had a little bit of a change of heart. Not necessarily in the plan of taking over Gojo's body, but in their next interaction. Because we then flash back to the next scene where Gojo is going to unalive all of the elders, and he tells his students they need to walk away. He says, "I'm not telling you to leave as sorcerers. I don't want my students to watch such a bloody thing." To which they all then refuse because, like Yuta said, we can't let Gojo be the only one to become monsters. So after being called out, they all then want to share the burden of becoming a monster in order to defeat Sukuna. They are trying to understand Gojo after being called out by Yuta, his prodigy student, that they were putting all of the burden on Gojo.